Chapter 1, problem number 43. A football player runs the pattern given in the drawing by the three displacement vectors A, B, and C. The magnitudes of these vectors are A is 5 meters, B is 15 meters, and C is 18 meters. And we're supposed to use the component method to find the resultant, which I'm calling R. That's equal to vector A plus vector B plus vector C. So to add vector A to B to C using the component method, we first write the following expression. The x part of the resultant, okay, which would be this vector here, is equal to the x part of the vector A plus the x part of vector B plus the x part of vector C. Now, the x part of vector A is 0. There's no x component. The x part of vector B would just be 15 meters. Right? All of B runs along the x-axis. And the x part of C, okay, would be this vector here, which is the side adjacent 35 degrees. So knowing the hypotenuse, which is 18 meters, Cx would be 18 meters times the cosine of 35 degrees. So we get for Rx (29.7 meters). Ry is equal to Ay plus By plus Cy, where Ay is all of A, so that's 5 meters. By is 0, and Cy is this vector. We can use the trig function sine, because isn't the sine of 35 degrees equal to the side opposite Cy, which we're trying to find, divided by the hypotenuse C. So Cy is equal to 18 meters multiplied by the sine of 35 degrees. Now be careful. Cy is directed down, so we have to place a negative sign in front of 18 meters times the sine of 35 degrees. Well, let's see what we get. The sine of 35 multiplied by 18, negative, plus 5, and I get negative 5.32. Now I use the Pythagorean theorem. So R, magnitude, the magnitude of the resultant, is the square root of Rx squared, which is 29.7 squared, plus Ry squared, which is 5.32 squared. So let's see what we get for the resultant. We get about 30 meters. Now the angle, we know Rx and we know Ry. Rx is positive, Ry is negative. So we're talking about a fourth quadrant vector. So theta then should be equal to the arctan of Ry, negative 5.32 meters, divided by Rx, 29.7 meters. Okay, so 5.32 divided by 29.7, arctan, 10 degrees. And that's south of east. South of east. So the final answer is that the resultant is equal to 30 meters at 10 degrees south of east.